What is going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data and today is April 2nd of 2019. Well, folks, I hope you all are having a fantastic day wherever you are. If you're on the East Coast, like about 1/3 of my audience is, you're probably sleeping right now when I'm recording this video, but you will wake up to the wonderful surprise that pretty much everyone has woken up to, and that was what could probably be claimed as the most optimistic or bullish case scenario for what we labeled the calm before the storm. And interestingly enough, if we take a look over this, a wash of positive price action, it's not only the general market that's up over the last 24 hours, but really, surprisingly, even with Bitcoin dominance depleting over the past few weeks towards a level that many people thought would be broken, Bitcoin has led the charge amongst most altcoins here with a 13.69% leap up over the last 24 hours, and over the last 7 days, almost a whopping 20%. On some really substantial volume, even if we denominate a lot of the fake volume that's been registered in these markets. So, extremely exciting stuff. I want to take a look at the market and I want to take a look at price, but we got to ask the question, what caused this? Was it another Tether printing scheme? Did the Tether team start printing up a bunch of Tether to start manipulating markets? Well, it doesn't seem like we've got much new Tether being created, so we can write off Tether off the list here. No Tether pumping. Could it be that JP Morgan turned bullish on Bitcoin? No, they're still betting on 1260. Just like a lot of paid groups out there. Well, maybe McAfee came out with a prediction, million Bitcoin, right? Hopefully McAfee's leading the markets. No, it's just posting memes of Andreas Jesus Antonopoulos. Okay, so what could have led to this market leap up, guys? Well, I'm going to be fair here as we take a look at the hourly. I'll be fair in saying, guys, I don't know. Now, I have two big hunches that will explain why this happened. The biggest one being that when you tend to go towards levels that everyone's watching in crypto, this is one thing that a lot of people have a misconception on. Crypto markets are relatively predictable, but you have to be able to understand that there are very well two different cases to trade on. And this is why we talked about the calm before the storm. This idea that if you have an if-then, you can have two if-then scenarios. If we close above this price, or if we have a substantial move below a certain indicator, you can have completely different narratives on where the vast majority of price action is going to go in crypto markets, right? Now, I'll be honest, I'm not going to say I predicted this in any sense. I was thinking, if anything, if we got to close above 4,200, we'd start to have a substantial rally over 2 or 3 days, maybe to around 4,500 or 4,600. Had no idea it would come this close and this fast. So definitely going to stay and remain humble in that sense. But we did talk about some kind of significant price action and potentially volume coming in if we had the close above 4,200. Now, one thing that I do want to emphasize here, because I think some people who probably trade crypto markets would ask the question, Nick, you talked about a close above 4,200. In this case, really a lot of this price action here for this daily candle has been over the last few hours. If you really take a look here at the 5-minute, it was actually starting to formulate at around 12 o'clock on the East Coast. So in that case, when do you start to turn bullish if everything's going to happen very much in the short term? Do you wait until that daily candle has closed all the way up here? And I'd say, no, you don't have to do that. There's a good trading strategy that I use for Forex markets and a lot of others where if I believe something is going to come on very quickly, what I can do is start to build my position at the level I feel comfortable. So maybe it was at 4,250, well established over 4,200. And I'd set a relatively close stop, something that would mitigate my risk and lead me to a very good risk-reward profile. So you can do things like that. Again, I know it's better said. It's easy to say it in hindsight, but again, that's something you can do in certain markets. I've done it in Forex a lot when there's big events coming up, and it's helped me in a lot of cases, but you just want to make sure your stop's at a level you feel won't be too volatile. What's fortunate about crypto markets is that when there is a move with enough substantial volume, it is tended that it's going to continue through, and we got that. So now that we've talked about that, now that we've kind of emphasized the fact that we actually really got some substantial volume on this price move above the 200-day moving average, and to see a majority of it holding, these are really good signs, guys. I'll say that without further ado. So we talked about one of the big reasons, and I think that has to do with the technicals. The other side as well is that we have to understand over the past few months that we've had a good opportunity for OTC buyers to finally start picking up crypto at these levels. And once they have enough incentive, once they have enough at stake in Bitcoin markets, once they've built up their long-term positions, they have an incentive to trade on spot market, meaning to clear through the order book, to start buying positions on spot market. Why would they do that? Well, it's because they've got a much more substantial position that they bought OTC, where they didn't incur slippage, and now they have an incentive for price to actually have slippage to the upside, to clear through that order book, to buy some extra Bitcoin on exchange, really across most of the major exchanges, probably around 50, 60,000 Bitcoin, and from there, actually increasing the value of their much larger position. This can happen in crypto markets, whether people think it's moral or not. I think that's substantially what's happening, right? It makes sense. So again, as much as they have an incentive to, start selling on spot market if they have positions, if they want to buy a big chunk of OTC in a bear market, it's vice versa once they've had their positions built. So there really isn't much substantial fundamentals outside of this, guys. But I think this speaks to a little bit of risk taking. And where do we go from here, right? Well, what's the next step, and at least in my perspective, from what I can see. Well, what I'm going to watch for here over the next few hours, and we'll have to see what happens by the time this is uploaded, I'm definitely going to be looking for this to be resting on some of these key moving averages, like the McKinley dynamic, getting very close here on the 5-minute, as well as the 50-minute. 55-minute chart. A lot of these moving averages on the 5-minute, seeing what happens on the hourly as well, but we've got a substantial amount of time before we start to have these moving averages catch up. So I just want to see price hold over here. I want to see it hold the vast majority of these gains. I don't care about the thin wicks up here where a lot of price action was short-lived. I like the substantial volume I'm seeing. If it can hold the majority of this, I'm going to be confident, and in this case, we might have an opportunity for this, if it closes above the 200-day, for this to continue and maybe, just maybe, test up as resistance up here towards 6,000. And I think if we do, we would get shot down. But it's always interesting, even in this maybe longer-term correction, to take the perspective that we might be going in for what might seem like relative highs in this case, but really is actually a lower high from the major downtrend that we've had in crypto markets. It might help us better formulate a bottom on maybe a major moving average like the 200-day. Who knows? I think the reminiscence of what we're seeing here, if we go ahead and take a look at the previous rally. We'll go ahead here and scroll the chart. I think this is very similar to some of the shorter term rallies that we've seen in the previous bottoming, right? So again, I'm not getting too eager on this. I don't think it's bull market 2.0, but I am very, very pleased by what we're seeing. So I hope you guys are too. It's exciting times. It's always good to see a little bit of green, no matter what. You can be in it for the tech, but it is nice to see markets gaining some substantial steam, and to show that there's at least some buyers at these levels, that Bitcoin is not dead. So I want to know what you guys think down in the comments down below. What are you making of this price action? Also, just for fun, we can always share information and also get an idea from different people's perspectives. What do you think is causing this upside action? Why now? And, what things are you optimistic or also possibly bearish about in the crypto space? Again, want to start a discussion, guys. Outside of that, I'm going to be doing some traveling down below. I'll give you guys the details for our London event if you'd like to come attend. I'm going to be in London. I think we're doing the event on Thursday this week. So I'm really excited to come meet some of you guys. I'm taking the train out there today. But outside of that, if you want the details, it'll be listed down below or on my Twitter where you guys can follow me. Besides that, though, I hope you guys are having a great day. I can only assume with price action you are. And I'll see you all in the next one. Stay tuned.